Hello everyone, welcome to the third episode of the Back to the Future project. So I've done quite a lot in between the second episode and this one. I finished off the Doc's hair. It was quite tricky to do, but I've masked around that with black to get the shape of the hair right. I finished off Marty's hair as well. And I've also done some shading in the background, adding a bit of brown and black there. Now I've made a start on the flames on the bottom right hand side there as well. So yes, I'm not terribly good at doing flames, and I'm desperate to get it right. You'd have thought it'd be quite easy to draw flames, but it's not really. So I'm going off the source image that I've got to the left of me, and I'm trying my best to simulate and copy what I'm seeing, but the original photo, the flame in the background is not so prominent as it is here. Reason being that I want to sort of cover the bottom side of the background with flame, and you can see the sort of the outline flame work on the left hand side that I've yet to do. I think that's probably a lot better than having it just black. Yeah, I think that would work better. You'd have thought that there'd be a lot of colours in flame, and there is, but it's so not easy to do, especially for me right now. I'm still under a bit of stress, if I'm going to be honest. I haven't really gotten over the bad news that I had the other day, and I'm still just very angry about it. There is an update though of the two people that were arrested of my old friend's murder. One of them's been officially charged, so the other one was put on bail. If you don't know, or if you weren't around in the previous episode, an old friend of mine that I grew up with was murdered, and her body was dumped on the A3, the slip road to the A3 motorway. So it's not something that you'd expect to happen. Helen Anderson was her name, and I just hope the guy gets what's coming to him, really. She was one of those people that I always wanted to stay in touch with as well, so but life got in the way. Something that you always meant to do, you know what I mean? So I'm still kind of grieving a little bit, and I know I'll be alright pretty soon. I know that the best thing for me now is to just keep on working. I say work, but it's a hobby of mine. It keeps my mind off things, even though I'm talking to you now about it. I'm not entirely happy with Michael J. Fox's face. My brother said he looks a bit like a lesbian, and I don't know whether that's on PC or not. I do apologise, but it's quite funny. No disrespect to any lesbians out there, obviously, but it's kind of disturbed me, and it's something that I'm going to be working on in between episodes again. Like, a lot of the background shading is going to be done in between episodes, because it really is just not an interesting thing to watch. It's laborious, and it's the tough side of the sketch, really. I mean, yeah, it's the detail which is tough, but the endurance that one must go through to shade in pure black, for that matter, is quite grueling. But it's so worth it when you're done, you know. You look back at it and you're just so pleased. Now, I don't know about you, but I live in the UK, southeast UK, and we've had a crap summer. I was looking forward to this summer throughout all of the previous winter, and it rolls around and we get roughly about 2 weeks of sun, and that's kind of about it. Yeah, really disappointed. I wanted to do some good bike rides. I wanted to repair my bike in time, never really got round to it. Next year, definitely next year. My bike was a gift from a customer that used to come into my father's cafe quite a lot. This is we're going back about 5, 6, 7 years now, and yeah, so he's a lovely chap. He was getting on, and he gave me his bike, and he said that he can't really use it anymore, and he wanted to hand it on to me because I expressed an interest in bike riding again, and it was a touching gift for me. And the gentleman has since passed away. George, his name is. Yeah, so I feel like I need to, you know, do the bike some justice, really. Give it a lick of paint, do it up a bit, and sort of give it a bit of restoration, you know. So I was going to do that at the start of this year, but I didn't bother, because there were other things I needed to get for this channel. So yeah, right now I'm going in with a really deep brown, or is this the black bit? It's either or. I've got about 2 or 3 shades of brown here, which I do deploy. Yeah, going back to flame briefly, it's one of those deceptively difficult things. Well, it certainly is for me, and I really do need to, you know, do some studies, I think, in between sketches, just because I you know, it's not getting the right effect at the moment. But I'm going to just carry on with the plan anyway, and then I'm probably going to come back at some later point and do some tweaks to it. Where it goes up in the bottom right hand corner, you see there, I may sort of bring it back down again before it hits the edge. I'm not sure. I'm quite picky when it comes to this kind of thing, and I do want it to be right, and the faces are proving to be quite difficult at the moment. You know, fingers crossed we'll get there. as I said in one of my previous episodes, the real hardest thing I think is going to be the Doc's jacket, really, his lab coat, because despite it being white, it's all kinds of shades, really. It's sort of like a whitish pink, a whitish orange, a whitish red, and there's creases and folds everywhere, so it's going to be quite tricky. There's a lot of stopping and starting with this episode. I don't recall me getting too much done. I do make a start to Marty's life preserver. Because I'm left-handed, I go from right to left, you see, so I do have to sort of think about the process of how I go through and shade different elements, basically. So I think we're definitely on the black now. Just making sure that everything is working out okay. Yeah, the gradient seems to be going alright. I'm quite nervous with these Faber-Castell pencils because you do have to be quite careful with your shading. A lot more careful than you would normally be with, standard graphite, black and white, black pencils. If you're doing, black and white portraits and stuff. It is a whole different medium. Because it's almost, like painting in a way. I'm just, I really just want to get this right for this gentleman, and I don't want to lose focus. So as I've said in previous episodes, and I will say in this episode as well, I do commissions for relatively free. If you do wish to make a donation, I won't stop you. That's very kind, but I don't push for it in any way whatsoever. That's not why I'm here. I'm here to make art for people and make people happy. That's really it. I mean, I'm obviously looking to get partnership status with YouTube. I won't deny that. That's really why, it's one of the reasons why I am on here. It is one of the reasons why I'm on this platform. So all you've got to do really is subscribe and make a request. You always get a rolling monthly chance for your request to be fulfilled, and it can be more than one request. It doesn't, just because I've done one for you, that doesn't mean that's it, and I'll never choose something that you request again. It doesn't work that way. As long as you stay subscribed, I'm happy, and I'll just, I'll try to entertain you with my art and talking bollocks and I do the occasional feature. There's a few right now on my channel. They're based on different things. There was one that I made called 2100 AD, the fall of mankind. Sorry, the fall of humanity. It's a sort of short 3.5 minute, 4 minute piece, which it's a sort of what did I call it? Future historical archives, and it's as if you're in the future and you're looking back through a sort of a visual history of us, basically. So it's an interpretation of that, and yeah, it speaks a lot. It speaks a lot of truths. Most notably, the idea that we are all sleepwalking into our own destruction. There's so many different aspects to it. So it is, if you are interested in this kind of thing, do give it a watch, because it's quite powerful. I feel anyway. It talks about a lot, It's brief, but it covers pretty much everything. Our environment, ourselves as people, our mental health, our psyche, and where we are inevitably heading towards if we're not careful. I know it's all very sort of doom and gloom sort of stuff, but it has to be said. Someone has to say it, because it's happening, and we've got to do something. Really, got to just do something to stop it. I'm making a few last-minute tweaks to the flame there. It's it's a thing. So basically what happened there is that I wasn't recording. I don't think this was a very particularly good day. I really do need to change my setup. I think that's where I realised I was using the wrong colour. Use my electric eraser to get rid of that. Alright. That was the point. I was a bit confused about what colour the highlight was on that bit there, but as you can see, I forgot to press record again. Yeah, this certainly wasn't a good day. So I had a book printed of the first 6 years of me sketching. Cost me about, say, 25-30 quid, and about 40 pages, nothing major, but for me it means so much, knowing that I achieved something in my life, and I've made people happy throughout those years. I did quite a few commissions for people in the past. I've always charged next to nothing. Because I just feel guilty charging people so much. You might say it's my given right to charge a lot, but I just can't bring myself to. I feel guilty, so I try to I try to sort of keep my charge down to a minimum, really. I mean, if I was actually to put a price on this, I don't know. I just genuinely don't know. I couldn't tell you. I'm not an established artist, so I can't really sort of make any demands, Which is why I'm doing it this way. I prefer that, I make people happy, and they decide if they choose to do so. I mean, as I said, they're not obliged to in any way whatsoever. If you're happy, I'm happy. Yeah, he may not be listening, but I should really apologise to my friend, or my friends. I've sort of not really been in much contact. I've been, kind of mourning, I guess. So after having done the highlights of his jacket there, I'm just going through and marking out now the deepest shades, and I will be going back through it at some point later, maybe to just sort of do some final tweaks. All I'm really sort of concerned about right now is getting the bulk of it done, getting it to a satisfactory point so that I can sort of step back and have a look. So believe it or not, we are coming up to the end of the episode. It's not a terribly long one this time, so as I said, things have been quite stressful today, but I'm going to do a couple of fixes in between episodes. Then the next one will be more comprehensive. We will be finishing off Marty completely, and hopefully have time to start the doc. Then we're nearly there. So if you've I don't suppose you've enjoyed this episode much. I'm sorry, yeah, but if you like what you see, you know what to do. I'm not going to beg like some people do, but I know I keep saying this, and I promised myself I wouldn't, but I don't know, it is what it is. So just give us a thumbs up and a support, and it all helps, as you know. So until the next episode, which will probably be on the next day at 3 p.m, I will see you then. So take care, look after yourself, speak to you soon.